Talian has found himself at a low point in his journey. He's lost his ship, he's lost his cargo, and Brennan, the black marketeer he broke out of jail, is now in the hands of pirates. Talian, however, was rescued by an old scavenger in the Maelstrom. The scavenger is no good Samaritan and expects a reward for his efforts. But in the midst of ever-changing fortunes, will Talian get back on track, or will he become another lost soul in the outskirts of colonized space? And welcome back to Reforged Imperium, where we get to find out what's happening to Talian Archer this episode. A couple things I do kind of want to take care of a little bit as we get started here, because at the as I was reviewing the footage for the last episode, that's when I kind of noticed that there were some things that I calculated incorrectly when it came to the dice. A few times I counted 10s as 1s when I shouldn't have, and 2 of them I think were at kind of critical moments. One of them was when Talian was first fighting the pirates, and the second time was when he was trying to repair his ship for the first time after he kind of woke up after the pirates had come and taken the cargo, as well as taken then Brennan as well. And so I don't want to go back and redo everything, because I think the storyline has kind of progressed, and I think the way the story is progressing, it's fine. It's a perfectly good way to do that. But I do want to kind of make minor adjustments as part of that. One of them will be, I think, probably the easiest way to do this is let's go ahead and reset our momentum. So instead of being at 0 where we're currently set, we're going to go ahead and move that back up to 2. Just I think as a simple reset thing to do, just to kind of level the playing field a little bit. And the other thing I want to do as well is, because Talian had taken some parts off of his hover bike after the first attempt failed, it's like, okay, I'll strip these parts off and maybe I can use them as kind of a way of being able to kind of justify how to try to do a fixing a second time. And I think because of that, then let's go ahead and make then his hover bike not have suffered the damage that it had, because he probably would not have done that if there would have been some success in fixing up his ship. The other little housekeeping thing that I do want to do as well is, because we had then Brennan was taken by the pirates, but the other thing is that the cargo was taken, and we never kind of really decided what that cargo was going to be. I kind of always initially kind of imagined it as being something related to a future mission of his, but that wasn't kind of really set in stone. So let's go ahead and figure out what was then the thing that was taken from him. So let's do let's ask the Oracle, and I think let's do theme and descriptor. So we're 100. Wow. Okay. 100 and a 16. Okay, so theme 100 world and 16 be a chaotic world. Wow. Okay, chaotic world. That's not immediately jumping anything out of my mind. So let's go ahead and add 1 focus, and maybe that'll help kind of clear things up just a little bit with a 73. And a 73 is a sector. Okay. Wow. That kind of blows your mind a little bit when we're talking about something that's chaotic, something that's a world, and something that's a sector. Okay, what could that be? In a lot of ways, I had kind of been hoping that it might be something that was kind of related to his overall background vow, which of course is, I will kill those responsible for taking my memories. But I don't think then that with what we got here from the Oracle is going to help us much with that. Instead, I think maybe what we can do is, I think this is some sort of device. Now remember, Talian is an assassin, so his main occupation is kind of politically motivated murders, etc., and so that's what he does. I think then what we're going to do is, I think this is some sort of device that is kind of connected in some way, something similar, kind of in modern terms, kind of an atomic bomb. So I think it's some sort of destructive force, and since it affects both a world and a sector, I think then probably what it's going to be is it's going to be some sort of, that's what it'll be. It'll be an EPS device, EMP device, an electromagnetic pulse. So basically then what it's going to do is it has the ability then to kind of shut down the anything that's kind of electronically oriented. And I think that has a pretty large range on it, because we do have this issue of it being a sector, so it's going to kind of be a large range. So it not just associate itself with a particular world that we're dealing with, but I think it kind of pulls itself off in a larger way. What Talian wants that for and how that's going to be, we don't know yet, but that's something that he needed, so that's something that he does want to get back. So anyway, let's jump right back into the action of where things are at. All right, so
Talian is now in the ship with Isaac Zhang, and they are going then to the coordinates that the ship is supposed to be at. And as I stated in the last episode, when they arrive, the ship is not there. And I think Isaac is getting very, very agitated about this, because it's something that should have been there, because he works on the Maelstrom. He knows this area. He knows how things work. He knows how it would have floated with the gravitational eddies that were there, so it's not there. You can also tell then that Talian is definitely a little bit upset about this as well. Is it that he's not sure about Isaac? Is he trying to extort something more out of him or whatnot? I don't know. But the ship, it's supposed to be here, but it's not. I don't understand what the problem is. It must be your fault. You've got something in your ship that stops me from being able to find it. Whoa. No, I don't. It's definitely not that. You saw my ship had a lot of problems with it. It was disabled. How could I possibly have somehow interacted with it to make that happen? No. And I think at that point then, Isaac is going to, because remember, Isaac is not only cunning, but he is also a violent individual. And so I think at that point then, Isaac is going to pull out his knife. You must tell me where it is right now, or it will not end well with you. Now, Talian then, he is still a little bit injured, so he doesn't want to have a kind of a direct confrontation then with Isaac at this point, so he's going to try to persuade him. So I think then we're going to a compel roll, in which he is trying then to kind of calm him down, talk to him down, say, okay, wait a second, I have a way of being able to track my ship. Because remember, don't forget, the whole issue with how the pirates were able to kind of piggyback into a carrier wave in order to get access was because they had then the communication device with the ship. So Talian has that method too, so maybe he can be able to kind of track things down. Just give me a second. I can figure out and try to find out where the ship is. Now, okay, so let's see then, is Isaac going to be willing to listen to reason or not? And so we need a compel roll. Charm at this point, I think. Ooh, okay, that's heart. So it's roll plus heart. His heart is a +1. So let's see how Isaac does on this first roll. 6, that is a strong hit. Wonderful. Okay, I changed my dice. That's why it's going a little bit better. So on a strong hit, they'll do what you want or agree to your conditions, take +1 momentum. Okay, so we're going up to 3. So, all right, Isaac, I have a method of being able to try to track my ship. Just let me have access to your computer and things will work out. All right, but there better not be any funny stuff, because I'm going to watch you like a hawk. All right, so then Talian then is going to get access then to the computer, and he's going to put in the kind of the access codes to kind of give him some connection to try to figure out where his ship is at, so he can try to locate it. So we are trying then to gain some information here at this point. So we want its plus wits, okay? So his wits is +1 as well. Why am I picking these today? Okay, so this time we have a 6. That is a weak hit, though. So on a weak hit, the information provides new insight, but also complicates your quest. Envision what you discover, then take +1 momentum. Okay, so he has located where the ship is at. And so he goes and he types the coordinates in to have it then kind of direct the ship, then the Isaac ship, over to where the location is at. Now, what is the complication going to be? When they arrive at the location, Isaac does kind of a general scan of the area to see what's there, what's present, what's not present. And then kind of on his kind of monitor screen, he kind of blows up the picture of the ship so that he can kind of see it in its larger vision. And when that happens, Isaac's face just kind of goes completely pale at that moment. And Talian is just a little bit kind of taken aback by this. He's not quite sure what's going on. And you can definitely see that Isaac is kind of beginning to kind of twitch a little bit, and just kind of he almost looks like he's seen a ghost in terms of his frightenedness. Isaac, calm down. What's the problem? We must leave. We must leave immediately. We cannot stay here. We must leave. But Isaac, that doesn't make any sense. Why must we leave? Look, you must look here. Okay, and so he looks down at the screen and he sees that on the side of his ship, it looks like someone has tagged his ship. Okay, so someone's been here before us. That's not your mark, then, I'm assuming. So, okay, so another scavenger has come and stolen some things off my ship. It's not that big of a deal. No, you don't understand what that means, what that symbol means. What does that symbol mean? Okay, let's see what the symbol is of real quick. Oops. Okay, so we want we'll need a descriptor and a theme. So a theme is a 4. And a descriptor is 15, I guess. All right, so a descriptor is a 4. So advanced, ooh, that doesn't sound good. And then a 15, advanced crime. Ooh, okay. No, you don't understand. That is the symbol of the black sun. The black sun. I admit, Isaac, I'm not from this sector. I'm not quite sure what the black sun is. They are. You ran into the pirates. You had problems with the pirates. The pirates run away from the Black Sun. They are not the ones you want to mess with. We must leave. We must leave immediately. Look, okay, Isaac, if you want to go, fine. But I'm going over to my ship, and so Talian is going to go and dress up in a kind of a EVA suit, and he is going to leave. And is Isaac going to stick around? I think it's unlikely that Isaac will stick around. So is he going to stick around? Let's find out or not. So a 50, so he's not sticking around. So he's like, if you want to go and risk your life for this, 10,000 credits and all your missiles are not worth it to me. You must go, and I'm leaving. All right, and so Isaac takes off. All right, and he just kind of leaves then Talian. He has put on the EVA suit, and he has kind of gone out of the ship, and he sees then Isaac's ship kind of leaving off into the distance as he moves and makes his way over then to his ship itself, to the Ektikisi. And he kind of arrives, and I think then as he kind of gets on the outer hull, he kind of puts his hand then on the side of it where the tag is at, and he kind of runs his hand across, and he can tell that the whatever substance that was used to kind of tag it, the paint, is not dry yet. Whatever was used, it's still not dry. And so it seems to be a relatively fresh thing. And so he begins then to kind of move himself over, and he's trying to stay very, very aware of the whole situation as he's kind of moving through. He goes over then to kind of one of the access hatches, and he kind of opens it up. And kind of begins to crawl in. And when he gets in there, he can definitely tell that there's no atmosphere in this place, that whatever atmosphere was here is kind of gone, kind of the electricity has kind of been powered down, so there's not really a whole lot here that he's kind of dealing with. And so he wants to then, I think, then kind of really get his ship systems up and running, so he needs to go and try to do some repairs then on his ship, but he's also then wanting to kind of keep an eye out of whether or not there's any trouble that is still present, because he can see that some people have gone through here and they have definitely then kind of removed parts and things like that, so he's not sure completely what's all here. Okay, so the question is then, is his presence immediately detected? I'm going to say it's a 50-50 chance. Let's find out. It's an 18, so no, he is not immediately kind of discovered. Okay, so good. So he can kind of go in, and he's going to kind of make his way down to the engineering section. And when he gets there, he sees just kind of a complete mess, that there's a lot of things kind of been taken out. But he does notice that he does think from what is present, he's going to be able to kind of do some repairs. So that's the first thing he's going to try to do, is just kind of get some energy back into his ship so that he can begin the process of reestablishing then the atmosphere here. So we're going to be rolling plus wits. And we are in the field. So it's plus wits that we'll be doing. Let's see then how he does, shall we? Plus wits is +1. Okay, that's cocked, so I'll re-roll that one. A 5. Okay, that is a miss. Ugh, not good, not good, not good. So on a miss, the repairs are not made and the situation worsens. Pay the price. Okay, so let's go ahead and pay the price. What is that going to be? Let us ask the Oracle for this one. So in a situation where that is a 67, and on a 67, you are harmed. Okay, so basically then I think what happens is he's trying to kind of get power back to the thing, so there's obviously going to be some kind of massive kind of spark that's going to be happening, and just kind of blows him kind of across the room, and he is going to take then a little bit of damage, so his health goes down to +2. However, though, he has got to get this done. He needs to repair his ship, and so he is going to try this once again. So let's see what happens. Plus wits again. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, but We have momentum now. So we're going to change that 1 into a 4. And so that is then going to give us then a weak hit. And on a weak hit on repairs in the field, we do get back 1 point. Okay, and I think that is kind of enough for us then to be able to get our kind of electrical systems going back up again, and that gets the process then of establishing some sort of environment in this particular place. Now, with the addition of both the explosion that occurred earlier as well as kind of the systems coming back online, is he noticed now at this point? Before it was a 50-50, I think now we're kind of moving a little bit more towards likely. So on a likely, yes. So he definitely has been noticed at this point. Now that Talian has kind of repaired the system, the electrical system on the Ektikisi, he's ready to kind of get started then on trying to get the repairs done to the engine so he can get out of here. And so as he's kind of moving around in the engineering department, in the engineering room, he kind of turns around and then he notices then there's a figure standing there before him, kind of about medium height, kind of medium build, just kind of staring at them. But the thing that probably catches his attention first is the fact that they have a laser pistol pointed directly at Talian. I take it you must be Black Sun then. The figure does not say anything back in response, but just kind of points then the pistol in a way of kind of indicating the direction that they want Talian to move in. And so Talian kind of goes over in that direction. He places then the tools that he has in hand, he kind of places them down on the ground and begins to walk over into the area that he was asked to move over to. Not a talkative person, are you either? Are you just a single individual, or there's a whole group of you here on my ship? It is not your ship. Well, I technically, legally, it is, but unless you are engaging in piracy, I guess I can't stop you necessarily. If it was your ship, you would not have abandoned it. Well, that is true, but I must say it was kind of against my will. Anyway, the laws of salvage declare that it is now the property of Black Sun. Well, is there anything that I can do to kind of bargain with Black Sun in order to get this ship back? Yes. Would you care to elaborate? Not at this time. Well, you certainly have me between kind of in a difficult position then. How is it that we're supposed to come to any sort of agreement if we're not going to be communicating with one another effectively in terms of I make an offer and you either accept or reject, or we barter and decide what is reasonable and fair? If you had all the information, that would be logical. However, you do not. Follow me. And so he will follow then this individual as they kind of move through the ship. And it's kind of strange in the sense that they seem to have a lot of very clear understanding of kind of the layout of the ship as it is. I see you've definitely made yourself at home and kind of have figured this place out relatively easy. Chit-chat. Yes, I have heard of such things. But no, I do not engage in such frivolities. Very well then. Your name, please, sir, madam? I'm not quite sure. My designation is 63592. Ah, okay. I was unaware. My apologies. I was unaware that I was dealing with an artificial intelligence. Apologies are not necessary in this circumstances. You were unaware of such a situation. Now you are. Yes, thank you very much. And then I think Talian just kind of walk in silence kind of the rest of the way until he arrives at wherever it is that K3592 is wanting to take him. And it appears that they have found themselves kind of at the bulkhead then of Talian's own kind of room, his captain's suite, if you will, here on the Ektikisi. And kind of without even knocking, K3592 just kind of enters right in. And then Talian sees then a woman that's kind of sitting at his desk and going through various papers, and as he can kind of see and notices what's on them, it's definitely been kind of bills of lading, kind of his notes from some of the places he's been in terms of nothing that has related to any of his work, because he doesn't keep any of that around in this particular area to kind of be found, but definitely kind of going through. So whoever is here, they're definitely reading through everything that he's kind of gone through, at least within the last 6 months, of his locations, his logs, and all those sorts of things. And kind of, I think, without missing a beat, the individual kind of just continuing to read, doesn't even kind of look up at Talian, just kind of responds, "You must be the proprietor of this ship, or I should say the former proprietor of the ship. What brings you back here?" "Why, yes, I'm Talian, Talian Archer. I'm the captain of this vessel, and to whom may I be addressing?" "Yes, you may call me Captain Brianna. I am merely cataloging the events of this ship for when for my own purposes, let us say, because we'll use this as scrap. It's not that interesting of a ship after all, is it?" Well, I think it all has to do with one's own perspective on things. And I had been hoping to be able to, as I was talking to your companion here, K3592, to maybe strike some sort of a deal that we might be able to regain then operation of the Ektikisi. I see. Well, everything has a price, they say. It all depends. I think I can sell all this for scrap and make some money off of it, but what is it that you're willing to offer me? Well, I mean, I can offer you whatever it is that you wish you think it is worth in terms of scrap, and because I think it's, yes, just scrap, that's fine. There seems to be a little bit more connection than just merely a ship to me. I'm not quite sure what it is then, but I think that mere money is not something that I would be interested in from you. Well, my dear madam, my dear lady, granted, I do have a certain set of skills that maybe those can be of some service and of some use to you. I doubt it. You seem to be just kind of a bit of a vagabond going from place to place. Now, my only problems is occasionally threats from the pirates, but for the most part, they tend to stay out of the maelstrom, so I don't have much issue with them. But from the look of the state of the ship, you haven't had much luck with them either. Well, Captain Brianna, I think both of us then have an issue then with the pirates themselves. They have also absconded with some things that I need. And perhaps then that in my recovering of those items from the pirates, we might be able to come to some sort of mutual agreement with one another about how that payment can be taken care of. What exactly then is it that Brianna Keelan is interested in? So let's ask the Oracle to kind of find out. Let's do a theme and a focus. So we'll do with a 2 and a 98. Both ends of the spectrum this time. Okay, so a 2 is an advantage. And then a 98 is a weapon. Well, the pirates have somehow come across a technology that is unknown to anyone in this sector, that they have the ability to, with relative ease, be able to infiltrate our systems and to shut down ships and then to board them quite easily. It's almost as if they can take whatever it is that they want. That would definitely be a problem then, I'm sure. Perhaps then, when I go and try to confront the pirates and regain what it is that they took from me, maybe I can find a way to disable these mechanisms then of the pirates. Well, yes, you could do so. But when you do so, if you fail, your ship is simply gone and I lose any of the proceeds I would have had from selling. Well, I'll tell you what then, Captain Brianna. Let me transfer over to you 5,000 credits as a down payment of what I will be able to do for you. Very well, but I will insist that you take K3592 with you in order to ensure that my interests are looked after. Well, I promise you, Captain, that I will do everything in my power in order to fulfill this mission and to destroy the weapon that they are plaguing this sector with, and I swear it. So we are going to, we vow to destroy the pirate weapon. I'm going to make this a dangerous vow. And so let us swear upon our heart, which is a +1. Of course it's a +1. Okay, that is a 6. That is a weak hit. On a weak hit, you are determined to begin your quest with more questions than answers. Takes +1 momentum and visual what you must do to find your path. Okay, so we're not quite sure exactly what it is we're looking for, how this whole system works, so we just know that the pirates then have this kind of capability to do so. And we do have then K3592 that is coming with us to give us some aid as we go and to attack then the pirates and destroy their weapon. We're not quite sure what it is or how we're going to do it, but that's what we're going to be doing. So then he's going to have to do a little bit of more repairs then on the ship just to make it kind of flyable, and then he is going to approach where it's at. I think K3592 will be able to provide him with some coordinates in terms of where the pirates are often able to be found, so that he can kind of try to sneak up on them, I think. So let's go ahead and see if we can repair our engines, and we are having then some aid then at this point. So we are rolling then plus our supply, because we're going to have K3592 help out on this. So that's going to be a +4. Otherwise, we might be sitting in dry dock. So that is an 8. So that is definitely a strong hit on repairs. And in the field, a strong hit gives us 3 points back. So 1, 2, 3. So with then the work of K3592, we are able to kind of get the engines back online, all good to go. And we are then in the process of beginning to take out the pirates. So he's definitely then kind of wanting to make his way over to where the coordinates for this particular ship is at. And so he is going to try to do this in stealth. And in so doing then, we're going to try to secure an advantage with deception, skill, or trickery. So we're rolling plus shadow. Rolling plus shadow. Shadow is +3. 4. Okay. So we miss. On a miss, you fail or your assumptions betray you, pay the price. Okay, so, so the repairs that we made obviously then are causing us some issues. Let's see what those issues might be, and let us pay the price by simply rolling on the fate chart, see what we come up with. That is a 53. On a 53, friend, companion, allies in harm's way. Or you are if you're alone. Friend, companion, allies in harm's way. Oh my, okay. So then I think what happens is definitely then, because we have K3592 with us, what happens then is that the pirates kind of immediately notice that the kind of electrical power signature that is present in the kind of the core then of K3592. And so it's almost no matter what it is that Talian tries to do with this ship in terms of maneuvers, he immediately kind of notices that they are there. And so he is, I think, first he's going to attempt some kind of evasive maneuvers and see if he can kind of get out of the way of this. So we're going to undertake an expedition trying to go through then some what amounts to kind of hazardous terrain and the fact that they're there. You know what, I take that back. Let's go ahead and just do kind of a battle, kind of a quick fight, see if we can get past then the defenses of the pirate ship. We know that we've kind of been found out, but maybe then we'll be able to get past things relatively quickly. Yeah, fighting using trickery to control your foe. Okay, so roll plus shadow, which is a +3 because he's trying to get his way out of this, and that is an 8. That is a strong hit. Okay. All right, so strong hit, you achieve your objective unconditionally. Your allies who join the battle may take +2 momentum. Okay, so yeah, so we do, even though we know we've been kind of seen and connected, we're going to then make sure then that we kind of do some fancy flying, as they say, in order to kind of make our way around. And then I think then what happens is we're definitely trying to kind of hide behind some detritus that is sitting in the vicinity of this and kind of completely shut down everything at the moment. And even because of the fact that they connected to K3592, I'm going to have her kind of shut down as well as a part of this, as we kind of wait it out and just kind of give it 5 minutes, give it 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And it seems then that we haven't been discovered yet at this point. And I think then,
He's going to leave for now, K3592 power down, is only going to put on minimum systems, really just kind of thrusters, so kind of shooting out jets of air to kind of propel him, the Ektikisi, in kind of the direction he wants to do. As they arrive then at this kind of station, kind of derelict that's kind of floating, serving as the space station then for the pirates.
And I think that's where we're going to end this particular episode, with K3592 and Talian just about to enter into the lair of the pirates. Will he be able to get back his ship? Will he be able to get back his cargo? Will he be able? Maybe free Brennan. Not one of his big priorities, but it might be a possibility. And maybe more importantly, is he going to be able to fulfill the vow that he made to Captain Brianna Keelan? Find out next time, and as always, thanks for joining me.